You're doing the opening, right? 30 seconds about. All right. Let's see. Well, very pleasant. Good evening. Welcome to Boppers Multi and Coaches Show for Hopewell High. We welcome Boppers and Coach. We were just talking off the air about of dealing with a loss as it was to get a little bit tonight and um, takeaways for you as you that loss and as you moved into this week.
Not a lot. It was definitely a bad game for us, and yeah, I guess the good thing is, last year after this point we were 2-2. We made a run there, won 9 straight games, and we got to stay positive. We got to stay positive with our kids. We've faced adversity once this year with that last-second loss at Powhatan, and we were able to respond following week at Hanover. And we talked a little bit about that at practice, about how to be able to respond to that adversity. And these are life lessons. And I talk to the kids about, life's all about how you respond to things that happen to you, not necessarily what happens to you, but like you said, how you respond to it. So I have a feeling you're going to see us respond well this week. Play Friday night.
If the Hanover gave an indication, I thought, of how you guys bounced back after the Powhatan loss, and week against Petersburg at Petersburg could very well be the very same thing. Their record, and well, let's before we talk about a lot to talk about. Maybe we can the game. First of all, I wanted to ask you, they're a school of about 1,500, and Hopewell goes about 1,000 in its enrollment. And Hopewell will dress about 36, and they're obviously a lot more. And they had one unit just offense and another unit, not as many players going both ways as maybe Hopewell did.
Didn't have as many, but we pride ourselves on being both ways. So, I don't think difference. I just think that we're really good team, and we happen to play really, really, really bad. And when you mix those two together, I think that's the result you saw Friday night.
Yeah. So, a couple of questions that I had just from looking at it in the booth. Their defensive line occasionally would just rotate, and it seemed to trip up the offensive line a little bit.
They did. They did a good job of stemming. And we knew that. They did that last year, and it caught us a few times, and we practiced for it all week. And, sometimes it just it's not your night. It definitely was their night, and they have a great defensive line. They have 2 defensive ends that are really hard to block, and the interior of their line also is tough to block. And we felt like we could have some success with them in the passing game and protect long enough to really get those plays off.
Right. Yeah, they put quite a rush on Cameron, and well, some good news. You do have some guys back from injury. You want to talk about who's back and how that should help?
Yeah, we'll get our left tackle, Leon Leach, back this week. He practiced today for the first time, and he'll actually be down here on the show tonight. Young man, 2-year star tackle, and really have. He's a great player, and anytime you lose a great player, but we'll have a couple other guys back, but they practice on
21 final. But let's take a 2-minute break, and we'll come back and we'll begin to talk a little bit about how wave.
Okay.
We'll be back in 2 minutes.
SUVs. If you're looking for quality new or used trucks, Stroh-Snyder features the rugged Tahoe as well as the popular Silverado 1500. Stroh-Snyder offers a fantastic selection of vehicles under $15,000. Stop by Stroh-Snyder Chevrolet today, 5200 near Fort Lee. Stroh-Snyder's been in business since 1966.
Where do you turn when you need help with hardware? Well, I know where I go, and that's McKay's True Value Hardware in Hopewell. McKay's has the most extensive inventory in the hardware business since 1955. If it's heating, cooling, plumbing, painting, or electrical, McKay's has it at a very competitive price, including difficult-to-find items such as wood and machine screws, stainless steel nuts and bolts, washers, filters, and hoses. Bob McKay's superior knowledge and helpful staff have what you want when you need it the most. McKay's Hardware, 416 South 15th Avenue, 458-30.
Hello, my name is Andy Clark, and I'm an agent with Ligon Jones Insurance Services in downtown Hopewell. I'm here to tell you that at Ligon Jones Insurance, we're dedicated to serving you. You've heard all the gimmicks and sales pitches from 800 number and on companies, and we can offer all the same options, such as accident forgiveness, disappearing deductibles, 24-hour claim service, home and auto discounts, and much, much more. What we offer that they can't is local knowledge and experience, a broader selection of companies and coverages, and personal service. When you call, email, or stop by Ligon Jones Insurance, you can speak to Lucky, Sherry, or myself.
Hey, you want to talk tonight?
To press 1 for English, or wait for the next available representative. We don't just sell insurance with great customer service. At Ligon Jones Insurance Services, we have over 60 years experience. We all live in the Tri-Cities area, and we support many different local charities. From hot dog, we can cover it all. So if you want better pricing, better coverage, and better service, all from a company that gives back to the community, call Ligon Jones Insurance at 458-8522 or go to www.ligonjones.com.
Okay, we're back here at Bopper's Malt Shop, one of the sponsors for Hopewell football on WHAP, AM 1340, and they have this Touchdown Sunday, which you've taken advantage of. I understand you and your family came down one
Absolutely.
Saturday. Any Saturday after a Hopewell football game, as long as the team scores, there's going to be some kind of discount. There's obviously a greater discount. The team wins, it's $1 off right from the get-go, and then 25 cents extra for each touchdown scored by Hopewell. So that's going to be all day Saturday, and Boppers is at 227 East Broadway. Hope that you'll come down each and every Tuesday. That fits your schedule. Coach Irby's here with his staff.
Yeah.
Enjoying some good food.
I can tell you, I just got a foot-long chili and cheese hot dog sitting over
It's
there.
over there
looks
waiting.
really good.
Yeah, he's salivating here. And so we're not going to do film this week, but we will plan for it next Tuesday night, and you can come into the restaurant. We'll have a screen up, and Coach Irby will go through game film. It's really an effective piece. And so, but let's talk now about Petersburg. They're 2-2 as well. What have you had a chance to look at game film yet?
We have.
Okay.
We have. They're a very good football team. Much improved. We played them twice last year. Once in the regular season and once in the playoffs, and we're able to win both games. But this year, man, they've got a really good football team. They've got a really good defense. Got a linebacker on their team, number 7, the kid Fred Raspberry, that I think is an outstanding football player. And really playing against him last year, really thought he was an outstanding football player last year. And not only him, they have a really, really fast team. They got some tough linemen. Got some receivers that can really go get it, some really tall kids. We're going to have our hands full Friday night.
So when they run the spread, is it also hurry up?
Somewhat. They do some hurry up, but a lot of not as much hurry up like we saw last Friday night against Dinwiddie. But they will up-tempo you a little bit, but it's mostly just a no-huddle spread, kind of slowed down pace.
So we talked a little bit about how well Sean Allen played last week. You want to that you saw on the film, offensively, defensively, special teams that
well, I tell you what, Daniel Greer, JV quarterback we brought in there in the second half, and
right.
threw a great touchdown pass. I believe he was 3 for 3 passing, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yep.
Threw a nice long touchdown pass on a fade route over the shoulder, about 28 yards. Then he took off on a 55 or so yard touchdown run on a quarterback counter that we run. And I was very pleased with what he showed and what he brought to the varsity level.
In fact, MVP, and I look back, and maybe it should have been tied with Sean Allen because they both contributed in different ways, but they were spectacular.
Yeah, they were. And Sean did great. Caught the ball well for us, made some guys miss. And that's what we want him to do, get the ball to him in space and let him make plays.
Another highlight that I remember was a great over-the-shoulder catch by Allie Treadway, and Cameron's pass was perfect.
Yeah, we gave Cameron time there on that one.
Yeah.
And when we do that, we're a much better offense, as I guess anybody would.
Right.
But, we just got to put all phases together. The thing about this team, we haven't played nearly our best football yet.
Yeah.
And the good news is there's a lot of time.
Yeah.
And, we just got to keep working at it, keep grinding. We got some guys back from last year, but we got a lot of new role players, and we really just need all of them to step up. Not only the role players, but our guys that are returning.
Yeah.
They got to play a little better. Our role players have to play a little better, and just have to be a little more focused and crisp and attention to detail and understanding what your assignment is. So we'll get there.
Yeah. So we're visiting with Coach Ricky Irby here at Top 227 East Broadway. The game this Friday night at Petersburg, a 7:30 start. Both teams come in 2-2. It's a game, it means right now in the Central District, I know than it used to be with the way the point structure works. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, we're a Division III football team. We play in the Central District, but the district is broken up into a lot of different divisions now.
Right.
You have Thomas Dale, who's a Division VI. You have Meadowbrook, Prince George, Matoaka, who are Division. You have Dinwiddie, who's Division IV. And then you have Hopewell, Petersburg, and Colonial Heights, who are Division III. And the point system is based on wins, and you get a division team that's higher. Than you. Plus, you get what's called rider points. You get for each team that you beat, you get 2 points for every win that team has.
Okay.
And then if you lose to a team, you get 1 point for every win that team gets.
Okay.
So you still get rider points. I would imagine we'd get a good amount of rider points from Dinwiddie, even though we lost to them. Powhatan the same way.
Same way.
I mean, the two teams we lost to right now are 8-0. We're losing. The two teams we lost to are pretty good.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we got to play better.
Yeah.
We got to get some wins. There's no moral victories, and the next team you play is going to be.
So when you look at the schedule, when your athletic director at the beginning of the year looks at, are there a certain amount of level 3 that you have to play? Is there flexibility with how many?
No, the only 3s that we play are Tab, Colonial Heights, and Petersburg.
Okay.
Those are the only 3 schools that are in our division that we play. The rest of them, excuse me, a 4. Powhatan's a 4. Dinwiddie's a 4. Meadowbrook, Matoaka, and Prince George, who are 5s, and a Thomas Dale, who's a 6.
Okay.
And the point system just was released this morning by the Virginia High School League. We're currently a 3 seed in our region. At 2-2, that's pretty good, given our strength of schedule.
Yeah. So when you think back, Ricky, last year you were 2-2, and as you mentioned, you on a 9-game winning streak.
Yeah.
So here you are at 2-2 as well. How much does that enter into the way that you talk to your kids?
Well, a little bit.
Yeah.
We still got to understand that this is a different football team.
Right.
This isn't last year's team. So we can't just automatically assume that success is going to happen.
Right.
Been through that, and a lot of these kids that have experienced that, they know it's possible. Last year we got beat by Dinwiddie pretty good. I want to say it was 41-7 or 41-14 or somewhere around that range. And on the 2 days later on a Sunday, we took the entire football team to South Park Mall to see what's the movie about the FCA?
Oh yeah, was it Woodlawn?
Yeah, Woodlawn.
Yeah.
We took the team, and that was coordinated by a guy from Woodlawn Baptist Church.
Okay.
And he got us all in there, paid for our admissions.
How about that?
And that kind of bonded us.
Oh, I could see why.
Our motto the rest of the year, every time we broke down, was own it.
Yeah.
Excuse me, not own it, was one way. Was own it.
Okay.
But last year was one way.
Yeah.
And kind of the way they did that in the movie was
Yeah.
one way. And our kids rallied around that. So we got to have a rally this year. We got to have somebody step up and take charge on this football team. And I told the guys today, the best teams that I've ever coached were teams where the kids held each other accountable.
Mm-hmm.
The coaches didn't have to do it. It was the kids.
That's a great point.
And we need that. We need those guys to hold each other accountable.
You mentioned last week you have more than 4 co-captains. So talk a little bit about the way that those guys and any other leaders to give the message in a way that's different from the coaches.
They're all different.
Yeah.
Some lead by example. Some are more vocal than others. But they all got to lead in their own way. And I'm a firm believer that you can teach kids to become leaders.
Right.
A lot of people think that leaders are just naturally born. But you can teach kids how to be leaders.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to pick those kids that the kids look up to, the kids will follow. One of the things we talk about is you can have bad leaders. Analogy of a herd of buffalo. If the leader of the buffalo goes off a cliff and the rest of them follow him. And we want to be like the ducks. If the leader of the ducks goes down, then the next one steps up and leads.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily. You got leaders leading leaders.
Yeah.
And that's what we want. We don't want leaders leading followers.
Right. A lot of teachable moments out of this.
Yes, it is, and that's what it's all about to me. I mean, it's so much more than football. It's trying to help these young men become better husbands, better fathers, better employers, better citizens one day. And if you can instill, some kind of those values while you have them for that short period of time, 2, 3, 4 years, it's a big difference.
I mentioned in the newspaper article how you coached under Coach Parker for 10 years.
Yes.
And that's one of the values that he led with. You picked him up, and I see a similarity. He was describing in that football game last Friday night, some of those very same qualities that you've been talking about the last couple of weeks.
Well, he's been the single greatest influence on my life. As a mentor, as a guy that I respect and look up to, and has been able to teach me basically everything I know about coaching. And I've had some other guys, Herman Henderson and Ricky Saunders, and some other guys that I was assistant coaches for, who are legends in the city of Hopewell, that have had a great impact on me as well. But they're all those guys have done a great job, and I've taken little bits and pieces of all of them and kind of molded what my philosophies and what are the things that I believe in.
Yeah, cool. I see some of your players that are in the process of arriving. Let's take a 60-second break, and we'll be back with more of the Coach Ricky Irby Show here from Bopper's Mall Shop.
One insurance agency, you're not just another small enough to know you and large enough to meet your insurance needs. As an independent insurance agency, we have many available best rate through the Hartford, Branch Insurance, Northern Neck, Progressive Insurance, or Dairyland Motorcycle. We offer great auto rates for all drivers and excellent homeowners coverage. You can also receive discounts when you combine your auto and home policies with us. Call or visit to compare. Shopping for you. Owen Insurance, 507 North 4th Avenue, Hopewell, 458-9400. That's 458-9400.
Heretic Feed and Seed has been Hopewell's lawn and garden expert for over 70 years. They say, if it grows, we have it. We also sell and service Cub Cadet, Steel, Echo, Exmark power equipment. Heretic Feed and Seed is the place to go. They are the service center for the largest equipment dealers in the area. That's Heretic Feed and Seed for all your lawn and garden needs. Located at 417 South 15th Avenue.
Testing 1, 2.
Yeah, for all your lawn and garden needs.
This is Jeff Butler, pastor of Hopewell's Woodlawn Presbyterian Church, and I invite you to come visit us sometime. We're a church that not only worships together each Sunday, but on Tuesday nights serve our members and those from the community by bowling together at the 15th Street Bowling Alley from 6:30 to 8:30. The first Saturday of each month, we offer a free breakfast starting at 8:30. And each Sunday, rotating between afternoons and evenings, we offer a youth program for middle schoolers and high schoolers. We also have a preschool for ages 3 and 4. We support missionaries in Haiti and Russia, regularly support the Super Kids ministry throughout the Tri-Cities, and the Big Brother and Big Sisters program here in Hopewell. We think that the most important thing that we can do in our life is to give back to the Lord for how graciously and generously He has loved us. As we love God with all of ourselves and our neighbor as ourselves, we see lives changing for Christ, youngsters becoming mentored, the community being strengthened, the joyful, and peaceful in the midst of the chaos of the world. I invite you to come check us out, Woodlawn Presbyterian Church, 1201 Blackstone Avenue, right here in Hopewell.
Okay, we're back here at Bopper's Malt Shop. Ricky Irby now has one of his players here, and I'm going to ask you to introduce Leland to the
This
crowd.
is Leon Leach. Leon is a senior co-captain for us, plays left tackle, is a 2-year starter, and it's going to be a college football. He's going to make some college football team very happy, and we'll have him back this week coming up for the first time. In the last, he's missed the last 2 games, so 2.5 games.
Well, Leland, it's good to have you back, and welcome to the coaches show here. And so you're one of the co-captains this year. Talk about your role of leadership in this team.
Well, basically try to keep everybody up as we go along, keep the encouragement high for the team, tell them that we're going to be great and practice great, play great every day. And, if you get down, try to pull them up as much as you can. Don't let the team get down at all, and tell them everything.
And that's a great asset to have. Great thing to have for a young man to be able to, is to lift everybody up, because the easy thing to do is to pull them down.
Yeah, especially when an injury just comes out of the blue and something that you're not expecting.
Yes, sir. It was tough. It happened when we played Powhatan, and I went to the doctor, and he was like, "You're probably going to be out for about 5 weeks," and it's been a 2-week recovery. And I had practice today. It felt great, and I was like, "That's good. I'm back." And everybody's glad to have him back, and I'm glad to be back on the field with him.
Yeah. So what was the nature of your injury, Leland?
It was a AC tear in my shoulder.
Okay.
So.
Kid, very tough kid, and I was very fortunate enough to coach his brother. His brother battled through injuries, and was a tough kid just like Leon, and we're definitely glad to have him back on the field with us.
Have you had a chance to look at any film of Petersburg yet?
I have, yes, sir. Their offense is all right. Their defense, they have some good linebackers. They fly around. Their defensive line is pretty deep to handle them all in all with the offensive line. And our players in the backfield, I feel like they'll do a good job of getting upfield and making their secondary and everything, get past them and all. So,
yeah. Leon's an offensive lineman, so he doesn't check out the other team's offense too much. He's concentrating on those defensive guys that he's going to have to block. So,
and you saw that Dinwiddie squad move their defensive line a lot of times last week.
Right.
That was a little unsettling for.
It was, it's hard as an offensive lineman when you have them moving around in front of you to hold yourself and not make a movement.
Sure.
Because all it takes is a little flinch, and you're going to get that flag thrown on you. When they start moving around pre-snap, it catches you off guard sometimes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
That defense has a little bit of an advantage being able to come back.
Being able to move, and we can't.
So, how did Ronnie Walker take the game was rough because he couldn't get on track.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think he took. He's a humble kid. He's a very level-headed kid, I'd say. He's one that doesn't get caught up too much highs and lows in the emotions, and that's kind of my perspective. Leon, what do you think?
Well, as a running back, sometimes you have great games, and sometimes you have games where you don't have such great games, and those just happen to be one of the games that you didn't have a great game. But, you can't let that bring you down. You have to bounce back the next week ready to go and do your thing.
Talk about the bond that an offensive line has with its running backs, because that's a pretty interesting balance there. I mean, they need you guys so much in terms of the teamwork there.
Right. We love those guys, and they love us too, but we just block as much as we can, as hard as we can every play for them, because without us up front, they can't do their jobs, and without us, nothing to do. I mean, they can't run the ball because the defensive line is going to come straight in. So we do as much as we can to block as well as we can, and then after that, they do what they got to do. And if the offensive line isn't blocking, running backs and quarterbacks can't do their thing.
Yeah.
So it's obvious that you've got your offensive line set to block for Ronnie, and then there's a pass blocking scheme that you guys go into to protect Cameron. A little bit about how that works.
Well, the pass blocking, if it's a forefront, we got one man. There's 5 people on the line, so we already.
Talk about your offensive line coach a little bit.
Oh, he's great. He comes to practice every day fired up to get us hyped up and everything. But all in all, he's a great coach. And by the end of the day, or not the end of the day, the end of the week on Friday, when we go into the game, we're ready no matter what. And if we're not, he makes adjustments on the sideline to get us ready during that game. So he's a great coach.
Then with Leon Leach.
Yes, sir.
And Leon, one of your teammates, Cody Traylor's had to deal with this injury thing too. Now, how's his progress coming along?
He went to the he had an X-ray yesterday.
Okay.
A follow-up X-ray, and he'll go back to the doctor tomorrow. And we'll have a better understanding then of when and if he'll be able to come back. He broke his leg in the second scrimmage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that.
It'd be nice if we can get him back. He'd be. We were down to 6 linemen last week.
Yeah.
Friday nights, and it's tough. Especially when you had to have some guys going both ways, like you said. We try not to offensive linemen and defensive linemen play both ways. It's much tougher because the game is physical down there, and it wears you down. I think the further you are away from the ball, the easier it is to go both ways, and the easier it is to get those guys rest and blow and get them a blow. But as far as playing on the offensive line, it's tough sometimes to sub in a backup there because so much is dependent on that.
So I know you're getting back into the groove and your routine. Talk about how Wednesday, Thursday, Friday will be in terms of practicing, in terms of what you guys have set for Petersburg.
All right, well, tomorrow we're going to come in and we're going to go off on offense and defense. So we'll have a 2-way practice basically, and just prepare, make sure defense has the formations correct, how they have to react when they line up in certain formations. And offense, we're just going to go, and offense is going to be able to pick up blitz. We're going to go over blitzes so we can pick up the blitzes correctly and which way, like if they slant, if they stunt on the defensive line. And, after that, we're going to go on the team.
Any of 2-way players that we have, they work just on offense, and we do special teams. And then on Tuesday, we do a defensive practice. So that's with defensive-only players plus the 2-way players on defense. Now, if they're like Leon's an offensive player only, so he'll practice offense on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Okay.
So he won't practice defense.
Yeah.
We may practice him some on Wednesdays, just in case we need him.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, we have a lot of kids we're really just trying to coach up on one side of the ball. So we'll do offense Monday, defense Tuesday, Wednesdays of both, and then Thursdays a walkthrough, just crisping up our game plan. And then we're getting ready to roll for Friday.
Now you mentioned, Coach, that you coached Leon's older brother.
Mm-hmm.
Did he also play offensive line, Leon? And what did he teach you?
Well, he was actually a tight end.
Okay.
So, he went out for the passes and he blocked. And then he also long snapped. And
Yeah.
I was the long snapper until I injured my shoulder. And Coach was like, we don't need you back out there. We have a backup. So, basically, as he just taught me to be aggressive. Just stay aggressive and be nasty on the offensive line. Because, like I said, as him being a tight end, he went out for passes. And then he also had a block. But the majority of his stuff was down blocking. So, he was just be nasty when you down block. But other than that, he teaches me. I have another older brother. He played college football at East Carolina back in, I want to say, like 2002. So he really helps me out a lot. He'll come down and he'll teach me the techniques and everything that he learned when he was in college at East Carolina, and it's really helpful. So both of them, they're always on me about being aggressive and getting better, and that's what I love about those two. My brother, they're always trying to get me better.
Yeah,
Great family. Liam comes from a great family. His father and his mother both great people. His brothers, great Hopewell, great people of Hopewell that do a lot for the community. Great community people, and we appreciate having people like that involved with our football program.
Absolutely,
definitely.
Yeah. So as your progress through the senior year moves on, are you starting to talk with colleges and possibly playing some college ball?
I've talked with William and Mary and Randolph-Macon, but other than that, I know VCU. I want to go into the medical field, so I'm thinking about VCU. But honestly, I've been waiting to see if football may bring a few scholarships just to see what may happen. But other than that, like I said, the only two places I've really talked to and went and visited was Randolph-Macon and William and Mary.
Let me tell you, too, about Leon. He's also gotten some letters. I don't if he wants me to mention this or not. This is how good of an academic kid he is. He's gotten letters from Harvard, Yale, so the Ivy League schools. And obviously that tells you what kind of academic student that
That's
Leon
incredible.
is.
You know, I've heard you mention this a couple times, and your teammates are in that category too. Greg Cuffey, Ronnie Walker, and that's a tremendous asset to be able to study as hard as you need to do and to play with the excellence that you do on the football field. That's terrific.
Yep.
Yes, sir. That's one thing Coach is always stressing. He's like, it's academics before sports. And I know
Yes.
on Thursdays we have study hall for about an hour, and we go. And if you have to make up work, or if you just need to study, you go and you study hall and you get it done.
Yeah, outstanding. Leland, appreciate your visiting with us here tonight, and after this 1 minute time up and wrap things up, and as we get prepared for Petersburg this Friday night.
Yes, sir.
The Valley Shoe Repair Leather Shop, 3514 Oakland Boulevard in Hopewell. Phone 458-2016. Open 9 to 6 weekdays, 9 to 5 Saturday. For all your real estate needs, selling Ingram and Associates for 8873. This is brought to you by Delegate Riley Ingram, representing the 62nd District in Virginia's House of Delegates, consisting of Hopewell, Prince George, Chesterfield, and Henrico County. You may call Delegate Ingram on his direct phone at 852-2202. The number again for Ingram Associates, 45873.
And cheese and lettuce and tomatoes and onions, mayo, pickles served with delicious French fries. There's wings and wraps, house salad, chef salad, nacho platter, soft drinks, draft and bottled beer. Great atmosphere at the Bottom Line Sports Bar Boulevard in Hopewell.
Of it was good to visit with Leon Leach, offensive lineman, and see that he is ready to play, cleared to play, and I know he's anxious to get back onto that offensive line.
Yeah, we're happy to have him back, no doubt.
Yeah. Well, obviously Friday, big night to get back into the win column and move to 3-2. You go on the road again, but it follows the same kind of paradigm that after Powhatan, a disappointing loss, you went on the road and played very well against Hanover.
Yeah.
And I know that's what you're aiming to get your kids back into the win column with a significant.
Yeah, we are, and this is a big game for us. Not only is it a district game, or so to speak, a rivalry game, so to speak, but it's a regional conference game. So this is a school that's we're going to be battling with for points standings in the seeding. So right now they're a 4 seed, we're a 3 seed. We both come in with the same record, so we want to win this game. You want to beat the teams that are in your division. Last year we were able to do that, and we look forward to trying to get it done again this year.
Yeah. Well, all the best, Coach, in the rest of the week, and we'll look
appreciate
forward to visiting again next Tuesday night right here at 7. We invite each of you back here to join us live at Boppers, 227 East Broadway, for Coach Ricky Irby and his show, and then Friday night we'll be on the air for a pregame show at 7 o'clock and game time 7:30 right here over WHAP AM 1340. You can also listen to it online on your computer. There's also a toll-free number as well that you can catch all the action of football, and I'll give you that number right now. It's a 1-641-552-5316. If you get out of the range, of the station on your car. When you're driving, just dial 1-641-552-5316. For Ricky Irby, this is Jeff Butler wishing you all a very pleasant good evening, and we'll hope to see you Friday night right here on WHAP. Oh, okay.
It sure got me excited for archery season. October the 1st.
Come by Dance's Sporting Goods and check out our selection of bows by Matthews and Elite.
And any accessories that you might need. Or just bring your bow in and have one of our archery techs tune it up and get you ready for your season.
Come on, get you some.
Dance's Sporting Goods at South Park Boulevard in Colonial Heights. Like us on Facebook or check us out online at dancesportinggoods.com.
To become aware of Heritage Custom Cabinets located at 23024 Air Park Drive, Petersburg, Virginia. Heritage Custom Cabinets designs and builds the cabinets you desire at a price you can afford. They have a custom selection showroom to explore the way you want your cabinets made. When designing cabinets, Mimi will walk you through every detail, from the colors to the countertops to the perfect stone backsplash. She loves to design and build quality cabinets just for you. Heritage Custom Cabinets is located at 23024 Air Park Drive, Petersburg, Virginia. The main number is 861-5251. That number again is 861-5251. Call Heritage Custom Cabinets today to get started with your fantastic kitchen.
This is Brian Reedy, chairman of the John Randolph Foundation Annual Golf Tournament. Join us on September 30th at Dogwood Trace Golf Course, located in Petersburg. Help take a slice out of the escalating cost of higher education. Visit johnrandolphfoundation.org and click on events. Registration is open to sign up to play or to be a sponsor. All proceeds from the tournament benefit scholarships for our local students. Come join the John Randolph Foundation and let's hit the greens for education.
We play physical. You're listening to Hopewell High School Sports on Fox Sports Radio 1340 AM. Hopewell High School Sports. I love it here.
Coach Ricky Irby joins us here, and the first game of the season with regard to Coach's Show. And welcome, Ricky, to this new edition of 2016 as we tape for tonight's game.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Talk first about last week's game, that season opener against Tab. How did they prove to be an effective challenge for your team?
Well, they run a good system. They run a wing T system. They're very good at what they do, and presented some problems with us, particularly on the defensive side of the football. We were caught a little off guard with their running game a little bit, and some of the formations they came out in we hadn't seen on film, so we had to adjust. And really proud of our players and our coaches for the adjustments that we made, and we're able to play a lot better in the second half.
What did you say, particularly to your team at halftime, Coach, that helped them get going more in the right direction?
One of the things that we pride ourselves on is we never panic. We didn't panic. We knew we were giving up some plays and some yards. We still felt like we were in control of the football game, and just kind of met with our coaches and figured out a strategy. We changed some. person efficient, so got Davis with the goes. So other than that, I'm Cody Trailer, who's starting left guard. He's out for about probably at least broken leg. Hope to have him back to the playoffs. So other than that, Coach, part of the challenge any coach has when graduating